Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Workers' Resources Soviet Republic. I'm Purple Lime, and we're in Limegrad. So, in the last episode, if you remember, we built this tourist area here, which is doing well. So, if we just have a quick look at our economy, and certainly if you look at the tourism first, we've got over 1,000 people wanting to come into and visit us. And if we just look at the back to our import export, fundamentally, if we go back to last month, we made 45,000 ruble profit. So that's a healthy profit, certainly. So it's looking good so far. We did have a lot of imports, which, as you can see, that is kind of just. So I ran it on a month just so we could get an understanding of what we're spending spending our money on, and it's quite clear that, as you can see, we've got fuels quite expensive, but really it's food that's really costing the most. So that said, in this episode, we're going to become a bit self-sufficient. So we're going to get some farming and food production on the go. And anything in excess can be then sold to the Soviets, the Soviet border just here, so we can make a little bit more money. So I don't want to put it anywhere near this kind of, kind of lakeside town. So we're going to probably put it either just here, because there's no other kind of resources around here, so it's not going to affect us if we wanted to get some fuel out. There's no oil reserves or anything, so it seems like a pretty good place to do it. If we just pop into food and crops, obviously we've got we'll need a farm, we'll need some fields, we'll need a food factory, and we'll need to get our distribution set up, and then so the plan is obviously in the town we've got the hotels that are consuming food, we've got the restaurant, the cafe, and then obviously the shopping centre that the residents use. So there's plenty of demand for it. We just now need to make it happen. Obviously I don't want to put a road crossing, do I? This is a decision probably we'll need to make, is whether or we have our food over here so we can then join into this kind of line here. There's lots of decisions to make. It kind of would make sense if we do it in this area here. Actually, it's a bit bigger. So I think first of all, let's pop down our farm, because that's really going to be the sort of central area. So we'll pop it just like so. We'll need a grain storage next to it, so we'll put one there, and then we'll need a food factory of some description. Now I think we'll go with the fields next, because I think that's going to be the next important bit. So I think we can have some fields here, probably. Maybe one. It's just one there. Perhaps one there. One there. We could fit another in here. Yeah, I think that will be fine. And then let's flip it around. We're going to have one here, one here, and one here. So that's 7 big fields. That should be quite enough. Let's just do our vehicles. So we're going to need, I think we'll go with 6 combines and 6 tractors, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Because instead of having delivery vehicles associated with the farm, we'll put a distribution centre that will pick it up instead, meaning we can obviously then have more harvesters and tractors. Next thing to do is probably to get the roads in place. No harm with it being a mud road because this is just for farm work, so we'll put one parallel there, and similarly one just there, and then we'll just obviously connect these fields up like so. Nothing too difficult, and yep, that's fine. We'll then need to connect the farm up like so. So the next thing we probably do need to do is actually, while I'm thinking about it, is we'll need some kind of gas station, and I think we'll probably put that just yeah, no, I'm not decided yet, unfortunately. And then before I forget, just make sure we've got there's no road connection. That would explain it. Let's do that very quickly before I forget. We'll come out of here and we'll just go yeah, just like so. That looks good. So let's just add these as well. Just make sure we've got all of them connected. Perfect. It needs powers, and it needs some truck, and it's too late for sowing. Winter is coming. Okay, so we're in June, so yeah, we've probably missed our chance there, but that's not a problem at all. It's going to take us probably a little bit of time to set this all up so it's working properly. So that would be our farming. What we do need to put in is we'll put in a road down here. So this would be kind of like our main access to the farm, and we'll connect up the silo there. We'll also pop in the gas station pretty quickly, I think, so that like so. Now I've got to kind of decide where the food production would be best placed, and I'm not too sure at the second. It's an interesting one to consider. We need some power out there, that's fine. Okay. Do we use a train to get workers here, potentially from this area? I'm thinking that may be sensible, perhaps. And we could have our food production down there, I don't know. So, okay, let's work this backwards slightly. So, we will want a warehouse. Let's get a warehouse that is going to provide us the food. Okay, so right, let's just put in some more roads here a second. Okay, this is a little bit better. Right, so let's extend this out. Yeah. Let's first sort our. It's gonna have a meltdown, so we'll just quickly. I want the roads to be still straight, so that's perfect. And now what we will do is go back to infrastructure. Let's get a warehouse. And we'll put it just there. And then what we'll also do is have a small distribution office that come on, connect. We'll go there. And let's just extend them, put the proper roads in a touch. Let's put a little bit more, connect it up like such. So these vehicles will need a cover hole because it'll be taking food. We don't need the big ones, so I think probably, yeah, 3.5 tons. That's a 6 ton. I think that's probably alright. Right. We'll get 2 for now. I think that'll be sufficient. So we'll ensure. So right, we'll add a connection. Let's add all of the connections now. So it'll be the hotels. Let's get that one. The shopping centre. The restaurant there. I think that's probably it for now. I don't think any of the others need. No, that will be it. So they all need to go up to. So we want it to be maintained at 90%, and it can, yeah, food or alcohol at this point. Cafe bar. It only needs alcohol. Okay, that's makes that a little bit easier. Okay, so that's that side of the distribution setup. So once we've got the food, it's then taken to there. We'll then need a warehouse. Now this will be the deciding factor where we're going to put food factory. I think at this point it kind of makes sense to perhaps put it down here, but I kind of want it. This is the touristy bit around here. Do we have a bit more kind of industrial in this space here and fill this up with more, I guess, more kind of, yeah, housing and residential housing perhaps. I think I'm going to go for that. And as well, I think if we have, okay, I think I've got a bit of an idea now. So if we have our warehouse pretty close to the tracks just there, so then we can join that main line quite easily. We then have food factory perhaps over here somewhere. So again, let's just extend that road. And come on, I want to keep it straight. It's really irritating having these power lines in the way. Oh, come on, let's get to the right bit. Let's take that out. Let's take that out. Like so. There we go. Then I think we will have, let's get back to our food factory. We're probably going to have it this side, I think. Let's just pop it there for now. And we will need a grain silo that feeds it just there. And that's not connected the let's just go back into connections. There we go. And we'll connect that up to there. Just do this a second. And then we'll probably just need to delete that a second. So no, that's kind of not worked, but hey. Right. Let's get another warehouse. I kind of want it to do that actually. That would be quite good. So just there. Okay, so the plan is at some point is that we're going to have some trucks that take the grain down to this grain silo, puts it into the food factory, then goes into here, into this warehouse. That warehouse then splits it between this warehouse that will connect to the railway and take it to the Soviet border, and then the other warehouse that will take it, or then transfer to the other warehouse, which will feed the kind of little town that we've got here. So that's a good start. We're gonna have to connect this up somehow so we can connect to the farm there, but I'm thinking there's got to be a quicker way that we can do this, and it may be a case that we have to go across the railway track at this point. And we'll also need to get this all powered up. So if you bear with me just a second, you'll, by the power of editing, when you rejoin me, I will have everything linked up, and I can talk you through how we've got things working. So I will see you in just a second. Okay, so time's moved on a little bit, but as you'll see, everything is up and running now. So to kind of take you through how it's gonna work, so we've obviously got the agro farm here. It's got the harvesters, tractors to be able to sow and harvest the field. We've then got this small distribution office here, which will pick up all of the crops and take them back to the agro farm. It's then picked up by this distribution office, which will collect the crops from the grain storage and come all the way down this road along. So we have made a road crossing on that railway, keep coming down all the way to this grain storage here. It offloads its crops there, obviously then goes into food production and comes out as food and is stored in this warehouse here. We then have this distribution office here, which splits the food equally between this warehouse here, that's, as you can see, is connected to the train or to the railway, and this warehouse here. So if we just do this warehouse here, you can see we've got that connected to a small distribution office, which is taking the food to all of the places that consume it in the this town area where we've got our tourists. If we just pop back to the other warehouse, you can see we've got a train here. If we just hit that one up, it's a 200 tons. It can carry our food. That will then take it down to the border here, which will then be sold. That, in theory, should then relieve us of any kind of requirements to buy our own food in, now that we can produce it ourselves. At the minute, because the fields were too late to sow for this year, the food factory is automatically buying it, so we will never get to a point where we are not producing our own food. We'll just be buying in the crops, which will be obviously far less than actually buying in food directly from the Soviet Republic. So that's kind of probably it for the end of today's episode. Just probably one other thing, we've moved the diesel fuel station for the trains so that it can obviously fill this one up. It probably won't be used very often, and it makes it just a little bit neater over in this corner here. I probably will do the same with the trees here, and probably cover around the rest of the railway like this, so that when tourists are coming in, they only they don't see all of this kind of what will probably become quite an industrial area here, and so that the touristy stuff around here is kept, they're sort of kept away from that. So guys, I've hoped you've enjoyed this episode in getting some food, for certainly farming and food production set up. Next episode we'll just carry on in that same vein, and hopefully we may even go to producing our own meat, or actually in fact alcohol, given it uses also uses crops. So there's lots of opportunities for us to explore still. So I hope you've liked it. Give it a thumbs up, hit that like button if you've enjoyed it. Also hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for now. Bye bye.